Well, hello, beautiful people of YouTube. How are you doing? I hope you're doing pretty good. Well, I'm on a roll. My Expedition, one thing that's always bothered me was this seat. The driver's seat is pretty much, the bottom seat is trash. If you look at the passenger side, it's in good shape, and even the back. Really nice shape, no tears whatsoever. So, decided to do the right thing. I went out and bought another seat cover. Well, I should say I ordered a seat cover online. Came today. I didn't think it would get here for another 2 days, and there it is. Brand new seat cover we're going to stick on here today. Pretty easy to do. I guess the purpose of this video is if you have a bad seat cover, seat's coming apart, you can take your seat out of your vehicle and basically do it yourself. There are places online, especially on like eBay and some of the seating, leather seat sites that do seats and so forth, leather, redo upholstery work. They sell seat bottoms and so forth that you can just put on yourself. And here is the back side. I paid $130, which is a pretty good deal, I think. And you can see it is pretty much the same collar. We're going to get this on here, and I won't have to worry about it no more. And I'll go ahead and clean the back of this up a little bit. Got one little tear right there, but I can stitch that back in. And when I sell it, if the new owners want to replace this, they can. But at least for now, it'll start looking like this. It'll look like a nice seat instead of like that. So first thing we got to do on this Expedition, we're going to slide the seat back. We got some bolts we got to take out. This is a T55. We got 4 of these to take out. We got 2 on the front, and we got 2 on the back. So let me go ahead and take all these out real quick here. Alright, so we got the 2 front out. So now we got to put the seat all the way forward if yours is power. And here we'll take our last bolt on the back, put that off the side, and the best thing at this point is just to go around front. If you have a seat like this, put it back about halfway, and simply just push it back like this. And this way you can get under here and disconnect all these little cables. And there's only about 2 on mine. And now we got our last cable, and that was pretty easy. So what I got to do now is set it up, spin it around, and take it inside my little work area. And there it is. And now we're ready to go ahead and start disassembling the seat. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get this guy here off. Usually just put a screwdriver behind it and kind of pull out. It's on there, and it just kind of pops off like that. There's really no clips or anything. It's just held on by a little groove of plastic right there, and inside of that. And on the front, you have 2 little clips, but mine are broken, so I'll have to replace those. You got 2 of those. Take those out and spin the seat in the back here, and you have one right here that you take off, and that one is already out too. So those are gone. I'll have to replace those. Okay, now we got to take out 3 little screws here that hold this cover on with these wires and the control. Before you do that, make sure you have something nice to set the seat on, a piece of carpet. Don't set it down on an oily platform like I have here, because you will get oil all over your new seat cover when you put it back together. Take that off, that on the side. We got a little screw here we got to take off, and there's a second one right here we have to take off, and it's behind the little reclining mechanism, so you can still get a screwdriver in there to get that out. And once we get this off like this, then this whole piece is basically ready to come off, and you have to fish it out right there. And there we go. And since I've already disconnected some of the wires, typically you can just pull this whole piece out. I still have one more wire here to disconnect, but it will come out. Sometimes if you can get it out right here, let's see. We can just disconnect it right here. That's what we'll do. We'll just pull this apart right here like that, and that'll save us a little time. I'll have to do it with 2 hands. And on this one, there's actually 2 clips, one on this side and one on this side. And once you get them apart, it'll come off. And now we can just kind of set this off the side for now. And now we're ready to get down in here and pretty much take this thing apart. Alright, so what we got to do now let's go ahead and take this screw out. There's 2 screws here for the back, the lumbar. I'm going to take these out because this here has to come off when we take off the back of the seat. It's all one piece. I'll get this one out here real quick. And really, we don't have a whole lot more here to do. So I'm trying to make you feel ambitious. So we'll get this one out. And then you can just kind of pull this down like this out of the way. And just kind of leave it down here. That way when we take this back of the seat off, it'll just slide out to the side. Order of business is go ahead and take out these 2 13mm bolts. And once these come off, we can pretty much take the back of the seat off. But there is a small catch. We have to set the seat back up, and we have to fit the other side out of a sort of an anchor pin, an eye hole, which sits right down there. And I'll have to set this up a little bit, and I'll have to do this with both my hands, and I'll come back here and I'll show you what I mean. Right down there, there's a place where the back of that will slide out of a pin. And there it is. You can see right there, there's a little plastic piece. And right here, there is a anchor pin. And I apologize, the lighting is not the best, but maybe I can set it up here for you a little bit better. And we'll go ahead and pull this cable out that we talked about earlier. But before we do that, we have to do one thing with that cable. And this is something you probably should do first before you take that back of the seat out of that anchor pin. You have to put the lumbar all the way back, flush, and tip this back and pull this off. And then this cable will come all the way out like this. And the back of our seat is free. And now we're just about ready to take that apart. But before we do that, there's that anchor pin right there where that seat slides in. And when you put it back together, you just simply slide that back in, and you put your bolts back in over here, and your back of the seat will be attached. So now just simply flip your seat upside down, get your 10mm socket, and it helps to have a little bit of an extension. We have 4 bolts we have to take out on the bottom here, 2 on the bottom, 1 on this side. You can see that there. And we got 2 more up on the front. I'm lazy today, I know. I'm using my impact tool. It's Saturday. And put those off to the side and simply get your bottom and put it off over here out of the way. And of course, this would be a nice time to go ahead and clean up and paint your support for your seat up. And there is our seat, and basically we're ready to pull this apart. It's pretty easy to do. I'll have to do this off camera. I'll have to slide these pieces off here, just pull them forward, and what will happen, make sure you wear gloves because around the edge of here it's pretty sharp. Once you pull these off, then we can go ahead and start getting the seat cover off. And as you see, I got all the corners here off, and I'm working on this one here. And that is off, and we'll just simply flip it over now and go ahead and pull the seat cover off. Now we have some hog rings we have to take out on the other side. Once we get the 5 or 6 hog rings off, then our seat cover will come right off. Okay, and as you can see, the seat cover's off, and I've gone ahead and taken out all the hog rings. I've got 1 more down here I have to pull out. And I just simply use some vice grips or cutters. What did I say vice grips for? Cutters, needle nose, or get you something like this. If you don't have hog ring clippers or whatever, that's fine. Open these up, and once you get them out, they'll come right out. And I found out on this one, there is 6. There's all 6, and you can straighten these out and reuse them because the seat cover I bought, it didn't come with any hog ring clips, which is fine. And there's our seat cover, and it's off. And when you put your new one in, just make sure you take your rod out right here and slide it back in. That'll do it. So that's all there is to it. Now, like I said, this is a good time just to kind of clean up your seat and everything and make sure everything's good. And you can see there's where the hog ring clips go. One goes there, one goes there. There's one in the back right there. There's a rod right there. I don't know if you can see the rod. So let me go ahead and prep the new seat. Put the rod in it. and we'll put it back together. So it wasn't too bad of a job. All right, got all the hog ring clips back in, all the way around. It wasn't too bad to put back in. Now all I have to do is flip it over and start pulling this seat back, the seat cover back down over the foam and get it latched and all that. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll come back and take a look at it. All right, and there's our finished product. The seat cover's on, went on pretty good. Got everything on the bottom on, trimmed. And in the back, looks really good. I can slide the seat in the back here, back of it on. Shouldn't be any problem, and we can go ahead and install it in the vehicle. So we'll come back, I'll give you a look at it once it's in the vehicle, and we'll wrap this video up. Okay, YouTubers, here we go. There's the moment we've been waiting for. Look at that seat, how much nicer it looks compared to what it did about an hour and a half ago. And you can see they all match, and they're in really good shape. I prefer cloth, but you know, sometimes you buy vehicles and you don't realize, oops, this thing does have leather, because you're so caught up in the moment. But it certainly does look a lot better. I even stitched this back in here, pulled this back together. All I gotta do is give a little dye and kind of fix this up a little bit, and that'll be in pretty good shape. And there's the old seat cover. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better. There's the back seats, so this thing really has some nice seats in it, and I like the color. So there you go. Just wanted to show you can change your seat covers. You can take your seat out and pretty much do it on your own. Just do a little research online and hit some of the sites that sell seat covers and watch some tutorials, and I think you will be happy, and you can save yourself a lot of money, because it's really getting tough to find upholstery shops anymore that will do seat covers. You have to pretty much live in a big city to find anybody that will do them now. If you live out in the country like I do, or a small town, it's really tough to find anybody to do it. So at least you know you can do it yourself, and I am living proof. So thanks for watching, guys. Until my next video, have a good one. I'll see you then.